Hello, and welcome to Let's Play Ys Chronicles, or Ys I and II Chronicles, I guess, but this is the first one. Why am I counting both of these games as the same project? Because they're more or less just two parts of one game. And hell, they're usually bundled together anyways, so... Anyway, Ys is a series that I like a lot, and I think it's interesting for a few reasons. One of the big ones being, it's hugely influential to Japanese RPGs, action RPGs especially, since it is an action RPG. But it's also a series that not a lot of people seem to know. Even in Japan, it seems like it's mostly just popular with retro gamers and all that jazz. And I guess I can kind of see it in the West because up until maybe the PS2 era, it wasn't really released on anything mainstream. In fact, I think only the first three games were actually released outside Japan for the longest time, and only a couple versions of each of them. But that's besides the point. Maybe you had a TurboGrafx as a kid. I mean, you didn't, but maybe you did. But either way, Ys is a series I like a lot. It's technically pronounced Ys with the hard S, but Ys just rolls off the tongue better. Anyway, this is a remake of the first game in the series. Well, first and second game, but the one I'm playing right now is the first one. Released I want to say 10 years plus 20 years for the current version. Depending on whether you want to count it as the original version of this remake or the most complete version, because for some reason there was 5 different releases of this one remake. I'm not sure why. But yeah. Point is, this is a remake that changed up a lot of things, added more story stuff to it, and yeah. And there was also a re-release of that one, which changed up all the art, but you can still use the old art if you so desire. We're going to be using the new art, though, because it looks nicer, IMO. We're also going to be playing on normal, because I don't know why you would play on either of the higher difficulties. Normal is already, kind of pushing what I'm comfortable with, honestly. God, his music is so good. Like, that's one thing you'll kind of... Like, if you're not familiar with Falcom or, like, the Ys series, they're, like, known for having really good soundtracks more than, like, anything else. Yeah. Fun fact, actually, I don't know how many people watching me will even know who this is, but, like, the first two Ys games are actually, like, mostly composed by Yuzo Koshiro. He, like, did a lot of music for old Sega games, like, I think Streets of Rage 2 was him. I don't know about the others, but I know Streets of Rage 2 was him. Yeah. I think he still does some of the composing for, like, newer games, but he's not quite as prolific as he used to be. Yeah, I really like his stuff, and his contributions... Sorry, I guess compositions would make as much sense, but whatever. Like, his contributions to this game's soundtrack are absolutely also good. Although, I guess I should mention, he didn't, like, do these specific versions of them. He just did, like, the originals that the music in this game is based on. I guess I should also point out, by the way, this whole section here wasn't in the original Ys 1. The original Ys 1 actually starts in the next town we're going to be seeing near the end of this first video. This is like... This version of the game largely exists as a way to add more story details to the original game, because the original game was very light on story for an RPG. And this game adds, like, it doesn't make it super story heavy or anything, but it makes it a little more complete, I guess. Like, in the original game, Adol just arrives at the port just fine, and then just shows up in the next town over. But in this game, he crashes his boat for, I don't know, because he's a dumb idiot kid. Don't push your luck. Yeah, I guess we're gonna take her advice for now, for a couple reasons. But hey, before we do all that, let's talk to old man George over here, a man without a shower. Nobody is going to understand that reference. In fact, while we're at it, let's just talk to everyone. I have a feeling we might get something out of that. Pestole. I'm pretty sure that's not a name anyone has, but... oh well. Arcia. Or Arcia. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that, because it's gibberish! Stefan isn't gibberish, though. That's a real name. I've met a Stefan or two before in my life. Seems like it's usually, like, popular in Europe, but it makes sense since these games take place in a sort of faux Europe, existence, I guess. Yeah, I'm not sure where exactly this is supposed to be an XP of, this, like, land that we're in. Like, all the locations in the place that we're going to be in for, like, this entire series are based on various parts of Europe, or some of it's based in parts of Africa, I think. I don't know. Is Africa part of Europe? I don't think it is. And saying that out loud, I feel kind of dumb for saying that, because I'm pretty sure, like, I should know this, but for some reason I'm drawing a blank, and now I don't want to look completely stupid. I don't know. Also, is Torrance, like, a name anyone actually has? Because apparently it's... Like, I know baby name websites do recognize it as a name, but I've never met a Torrance once in my life, online or offline. At least not someone whose actual name is Torrance. Like, long story of I guess. There's a lot of people I haven't talked to yet. Shit. Here we go. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I want to say I got like 6 more people to talk to, and 2 of them I know for sure are in that building we were like just heading into. I don't think I talked to these guys yet. So yeah, so we've just got one more dude to figure out who exactly it is. Hang on. There's a dog. Okay. Just had to get that out there real quick. Did I talk to this guy? Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've talked to a Marco before. What about you? No, I've talked to you. Shit, who am I missing? You? Yeah, it was definitely you. Yep. Okay. So, you might be wondering why exactly I'm talking to all these people. And, as I said earlier, I have a hunch. But no, I'm not actually, like, just doing this out of a gut feeling or whatever. There is actually a reward you get for talking to everyone in this town, at least. I'm pretty sure this is the only town, actually, where you have a reward for that. But if you talk to everyone and then talk to Slav over here, once you're done talking to him, he'll give you a short sword. Which, doing it this way, you actually get the sword for free. Otherwise, you'd have to buy it. And you will need a sword of some kind at some point. And I do want to just get all the equipment, just because, whatever, it's easy enough to get money for it. And I guess I'll just, like, skip through all of this just so you can, like, get all the lore details if you haven't played the game before. I don't know. I like how a short sword is barely visible in this prompt. Although it's a little more visible than I think it was in the other prompts. Like, actually in the options there's like an option to set the frame type to either be like standard or the same as standard but with a kind of ugly golden tint to it. I don't know, I kind of prefer this one. It's a little less distracting, and the shade of gold they use, I just kind of feel looks kind of ugly. Also, we have to equip that sword, otherwise we won't get to use it at all. But hey, now that we've talked to everyone, I think that's as good a time as any to head outside of the town. Before that, though, just gotta save. Bump system. That explains it in kind of a little more detail than I would have, but let me explain the bump system. So, in this game you don't actually have a dedicated attack button. Instead, you attack enemies just by running into them. Every time you run into them, you will do damage to an enemy. However, that enemy will also do damage to you unless you hit them from off-center. So yeah. It seems a little weird at first if you're not used to it, but once you get into a rhythm of it, it kind of introduces an interesting sort of flow to combat that you don't see in a lot of action games. I think it's a welcome change. I know a lot of people hate it, and I don't blame you. It took me a while to get used to it, but I don't know, I still like it. It's interesting. Yeah, I guess it's worth mentioning, by the way, you can technically go through here without getting a sword, but you won't be able to kill this guy at all. Like, you won't be able to damage him until you get either a level up or a sword. The little, like, wooden golem duders, you can kill those even if you have no equipment and you're at level 1, but it takes a little while. But, you know, everything else, not so much. Also, I can't really demonstrate it right now since I haven't taken any damage, but outside of dungeons at least, if you just sit completely still, you actually restore health that way. There are healing items in the game, but you don't really need them outside of dungeons. Anyway, here's the town of Minia. This is where a game would have started if you had played one of the older versions, like what was the first one again? I want to say Eternal? The first of, like, this remake's releases, anyway. Anyway, this is a cat. I'm gonna talk to the cat. There we go. And we're gonna talk to who, in every other version of this game, is the first person you're supposed to talk to. This lady over here. Her name is Sarah. She has some relevance to the plot. That's how I'm gonna summarize her. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, she does have some stuff she wants us to do, but first, she wants us to get a full set of equipment. Lucky for us, we already have a sword. We can't afford, like, a full set of equipment just yet, but there is actually a way we can easily get just a little more money. So let's get on over here, go to the pub. This isn't, like... There's not anything super important here, however, there is a side quest if we talk to these guys over here. First things first, let's talk to the bartender, just because for some reason we can't actually hear the one-eyed man out unless we talk to the bartender first. Found that out in a practice session just to kind of see if I wanted to do this. But yeah, basically, the one-eyed man lost a sort of sapphire engagement ring, and he wants us to help him find it. Now, where is that ring, you might ask? Well, we don't really have any way to say for certain whether this is the exact ring, but this guy over here, Pim, who has a very, very punchable face, has a sapphire ring in stock. That seems a little suspicious. Now, we could buy it for 1,000 gold. I do have that much. But you know what? I feel like being a dick. Yeah, indeed I am. Hey, what's this? Yeah, we got a discount. That's like as low as the discount will go, though. But, you know, any discount's worth it. For, like, little additional effort. You actually get an achievement for doing that, too, on the Steam version, which is what I'm playing right now. I kind of don't like that you get an achievement for it, though, because... Hang on. Here we go, I almost overshot it. I kind of don't like that you get an achievement for doing it, though, because... I don't know, I feel like it's a lot more fun to just discover it on your own than by just looking at the achievements list and seeing, oh wait, there's a secret way to trick him into doing some bullshit. Anyway, he just gave us 1,500 gold for doing all that, so that's nice. And with that, we actually have more than enough to get our full set of equipment. Who the fuck names their kid Haystack? So, all we can really afford right now is a chainmail and the small shield. There we go. Got 556 gold left after that. Alright, I think we need to equip the whole set if we want to talk to Sarah, but even if we don't, then, I mean, you might as well equip it. Like, why would you not? I guess unless you're, like, going for a challenge or whatever. Hang on. Okay. Have to do that every time I pass by here. I probably shouldn't be speaking this fast, honestly, but, I don't know. I'm just in that mood right now. So yeah, I think that's a good little set of things to do right away. And that's probably good enough setup for the rest of this project. So yeah, I'm really gonna enjoy doing this. Like, Ys is like probably my favorite series at the moment, if you'd ask me. Like, the 8th game is just straight up my favorite game. But yeah. That all being said, next time we'll be exploring the greater world of, well, it isn't Ys just yet, but it is this little island area. So I'll see you all then. Later, everybody.
From Europa, I can straight into your center. Over and over, you're in Stone Cold Australia.